continues to spread.
Good morning. It's agronomy meeting Thursday.
See in here if you know about soybean.
Whew, I don't know if I can sit through 4 more of those. Anyway, we're done with our webinar. So I think we need to do a little snow removal. Phil's working on driveways out here with the backhoe. I'm going to take the 7520. We're going to do the driveway at the seed warehouse, and then if we need some help or we got some more to do at the farm here, we will do that. Get my coat. So yesterday, Brock was here. We were servicing the 4440 there, and after we got done with the oil changes and everything, we did wash that tractor and clean it. Brock power washed. I washed on it a little bit. We got it cleaned up really nice. I had a time lapse going, but apparently I forgot to press record, so that's why you guys didn't see any of that. I lost the footage. I need some driveway marker sticks or flags or something. It's a little hard to tell where my driveway's at here, and I'm getting into the sod too much in a couple of spots, but it's all right. It'll be fine. We just have to open enough for trucks to get in and out. So the ground is not super frozen underneath. We were sort of muddy before we got this snow. And so the driveways are not frozen, which means I'm getting rocks. I'm not very good at having my height adjusted just right to get the snow and not the rocks. So I'm trying really hard to pile it in the driveway and not in the grass to kind of save myself some work later on in the spring. We're doing okay. We're still going to get some rocks in the lawn. I should get some shoes, like skid shoes, to put on the front cutting edge of the bucket to limit my depth so it would ride a little bit better. I've seen those, I've thought about it. We just don't get that much snow to justify it, mess with it, think about it. I don't know. It's something I should do. What would be really nice is a big snow pusher, but we definitely do not get enough snow or push enough snow to think about or worry about getting a big snow pusher for this tractor. This big bucket that we've got works pretty well. All right, that'll work. If we get a halfway warm day, mid-30s, it'll all melt off of the stones and we'll have clean driveways, so good deal. All right, well, I'm working on a little snow removal around the farm buildings here. Phil's still working with the backhoe. He's more over by the grain system. He's got to get all those driveways cleared out so he can get trucks loaded and in and out and all of that good stuff. So we're trying to pile strategically out of the way, blocking off our lane, but we should be able to get around and in front of the corner of the barn here, no big deal. There's Phil over there. I'm gonna be done. So, and we're done with this tractor. We don't need it in the shop anymore, so we're gonna put it in the barn back here. Okay, well, we're done pushing snow, and check it out. We got our hydraulic couplers that we need for the 4440. So I'll show you this. We're gonna work on it probably this afternoon. It's 11:15 now, so yeah, these are new couplers for the hydraulic outlets on the 4440, and this one's for the 4020. I put one of these on the 4440 last year, 2 years ago. I don't remember exactly when it was. And they work really well. I was trying them. That's what these are. And they worked really well, and I like them, and so we're going to replace the other one. This is a retrofit kit from John Deere that we put in 15, 20 years ago. This is a adapter because this tractor originally came with John Deere couplers. So for those of you that don't know, the style of the barrel, the tip that fits in there, or the how it interlocks, there was different styles back when the manufacturers all kind of started putting hydraulics on tractors. They all had their own. They all had their own. Nope. This is the Power Beyond outlet up here that Dad added. And the John Deere's were a little bit more rounded couplers, tips, whatever. And sometime, I don't even know when, in the 90s, maybe in the 80s, would be my guess. They kind of standardized them into these ISO Pioneer couplers. And so this is a retrofit kit that took the original John Deere style barrels out, put the Pioneer couplers in. The problem is these whole barrels slide inside the housing. You have a lever to open and close them, lock them, unlock them, and they're a real not good system, and they leak, and they're a problem. On the newer tractors, they have these style that you can actually couple and uncouple under pressure. They don't have a lever to lock them and open the valves up anymore. And this kit basically converts from this style to this style. And they have a piece that goes into this, that, you know, where this thing is sliding in there, it kind of locks it in place so it doesn't slide, so you don't wear out O-rings. That's why they leak, because they run back and forth. They wear out the O-rings, they leak. And then the coupler part screws into that, goes in there, and they're much better. This one is leaking some. The one on the 4020 is leaking terribly, and it's the same as that. We put the update kit for the Pioneer couplers over the John Deere and that tractor a long time ago as well. And I got two. We're going to change them over. So that's this afternoon's plan. Oh, I tell you what, my plans, they don't always work. So yesterday I was pricing stuff for getting that heater installed that I got the other day. Trying to figure out how to run gas line and everything, how I want to orient it. And then I was looking up some charts on that flex tubing today to see pressure loss and flow and how big a line that I would need. Turns out 3/4 inch line won't be big enough to go as far as I need, because if I put the heater on the end where my treater is, basically, and I vent it to the south, which is what I would like to do, I have to run a gas line the whole length of the barn, which means it would end up being close to 150 feet long. Yeah, 3/4 inch line's not gonna be big enough. I would need actually 1.25 or better, unless I go black pipe, and then it's a whole lot more work. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to flip that, run it with the heater on the south, tube going to the north, which will work. It'll be fine. I just then have to get electric to the other side, and yeah, so just, yeah, it's frustrating. Anyway, I also got some lunch in there, and now we're gonna work on our tractor. Let's get our hydraulic valves installed. So I'm gonna refresh my memory and read through the directions real quick, and then we'll start tearing stuff apart on the tractor, get the old ones off of there, and get these ones installed. I don't think it's hard. I will show you the process, but I just need to remember it. All right. Oh, my handy dandy light there. Step one is to get these out, and there's I thought there was a clip in there. Yeah, right there. There's a snap ring in there that we got to get picked out. All right, let me get that. That little bugger's a little difficult, but I got it started. Now I should be able to work it around and out. I don't know where it went. Oh, it's over there. Okay, we got one. Now, the next thing, we gotta do the other one yet, but we gotta knock this plug out on top. So we'll take a punch and a hammer and hammer it out. Kind of like that. Okay, now there's a little clip on there. We gotta get this clip off. And then, there we go. That spring comes off. The clip, fish them out of there. Okay. This should push down through there. You might need to use the hammer and the punch to get it to move. Or maybe just the punch. Going slowly. This is probably the part where I start to get super oily. Ouch. Okay, there's that. You can see the cam. Is that a cam, I guess you would call that? Anyway, there's that. Now this should come right out of there. We're going to put it back in because it's oily until I get the other one apart and I'm ready to put it back together. Well, one of those, once you've done it, it comes a lot easier. That one took me all of 10 seconds to get. The other one I worked on for 5 minutes. All right, well, there's the snap ring. Now we got to get that plug out. Come on. I got a hole in it. I thought it would pop right out of there. Not so much. Bigger punch, a lot more hammering. We got that one. Okay, clip. Wrong tools. This one. There we go. The spring is gone. Now we gotta get that out. Okay, so now they're both loose. We pull that out. Those parts all get thrown away. Now there are some O-rings way back in there that we have to get out. There's 2 O-rings and 2 backings or whatever that, yeah, we got to get them out. Put new ones in. All right, well, there wasn't 4 in each one. There's just these 2 big thick ones. I think they're probably different than the originals because these are not original. So they didn't have the backup rings in there and stuff. It is a little dirty and oily in there. I'm going to get some brake cleaner. We're going to spray that down good and clean it up as best we can before we start putting new parts in there. All right, look at that. We've got it nice and clean. You want to inspect and make sure you don't have any damage, any scratching, burrs, anything like that, which they look pretty good. And they're clean and they're dry. All right, I think we need our new seals. Okay, so here's our pieces for our new coupler. First thing we got to do is take this bolt out with that washer and set it over here, and you got to take this off. Oop, don't drop it. Okay, also, these are the snap rings that we took out, the very first thing we did. Don't throw those away because it says retain, and when it said insert OEM snap rings, when I was reading the directions, I'm like, oh, guess I'm gonna need those. I had to go fish them out of the trash and clean them up. But anyway, and then we are gonna take this, we're gonna put a little grease on these O-rings, and that threads apart right there. There's 2 parts there, see that? Threads. You don't want it to be tight. You want it to be a little bit loose there. So we're going to put some grease on those, and then the next thing we're gonna do is flip this whole thing upside down, and we're gonna thread this into the bottom end. This is the actual coupler part. We're just going to use that to help insert it. I'll show you. Okay, so we've got our grease on there. We threaded that in. You'll notice there's a pin here, the indexing pin they call it. You want that to be either straight up or straight down. It says straight down, 6 o'clock position is preferred. So we're going to go like that. And the goal is to get this in there without damaging the O-rings. So we're going to do it nice and gently and just kind of wiggle our way in. Ooh. And get everything lined up. Until it fits in past that snap ring groove. We're not quite there. Nope. There. Okay, now we can take this off. Set it back over here. And we've got to get the snap ring in there to hold that barrel in place. And then that will not move. It won't slide. It doesn't. That's why the O-rings, you got to get them in carefully so that they're in good shape. But then they don't slide. They don't move. They're not going to wear out. Just the problem with the old style. As difficult as these snap rings are to get out, they go in super easy. Okay, so there's that. Now, what's next? All right, so I went ahead and got the other barrel, or whatever you want to call that part, put in there. And now we have to install these. They have an O-ring, so we lubricated that up. And we're just going to spin these on. That indexing pin keeps the insert in there from spinning so that we can get these tight. I'll have to read and see what it says for torque, but we're just going to hand tighten it for right now. What does it say? Apply grease, properly sized. Tighten with properly sized open wrench. After coupler is tightened, rotate assembly by hand clockwise until it stops. Right. Well, that would be the way you tightened it. So I guess we're gonna get a wrench and we're gonna snug it up. Then give me a torque spec. All right, so we got both of those installed. Next up, we have to actually tighten the socket or barrel or whatever you're gonna call it in there. So we're gonna take our 5/8 wrench, attempt to get it on there, and snug that up until it's tight. There is a torque spec on that. I don't remember what it said, but something. So 50 foot-pounds. It's tightened to 50 foot-pounds, and it helps when you turn it the right direction. So I was confused because in here it says after coupler is tightened, meaning this part, rotate the assembly by hand counterclockwise until it stops. Oh, it says counterclockwise. That would be that way. Okay, I read it wrong. I read counterclockwise, so I thought it was spin it this way. So I thought, well, that doesn't make sense. And yep, it does. It's good. It's all good. It's all good. You gotta spin it, and now they're tight. Okay, so there's that part. Next, we have to take these caps and bolts that we took off and thread them in on the backside there. Okay, now I got those tight, 15 inch-pounds, not a whole lot of torque on those. A 1/2 inch wrench. Now we have to put these caps, these plugs in. So these just they're just covers at this point. They just sit in there. And we're gonna take our punch and a hammer and hit right in the center, which is gonna push it out and lock it into place. See how we got a dimple in the center on those? Okay, there's that. This is your hydraulic speed adjustment, circa 1978. Now electronic controls here. Also these arms up in here, these levers that are all attached to rods, those are connected to the hydraulic levers that are actually manually actuating valves. Again, no electronic controls here. So anyway, now we take these caps, whoa, and we push them on there. Clearly, just like I just did. Let's try this again. Oh, nope. There we go. Like so. All right. Well, there we go. And these ones over here, I just clean them up a little bit. They look pretty much as good as new, just a little dirtier. That'll happen. You have hydraulic oil. Anyway, those work good. I like them. That should clean up some of our oil leaks on the back end of this tractor. Because I'm sure somebody right now is typing, what's the name of that kit? Where'd you get that those couplers from? They are from this company called Waspy Innovations. Grove conversion. They have a couple of different styles depending on what your outlets look like. These ones are good from like the 4020s through the 4440s, which is convenient because that's what we have two of, or you know, whatever. I bought them directly from them. They did not send them to me. They did not give them to me. I paid for them. And then I made them a really good video of how to install them. So, yeah. Anyway, go check them out. All right. Well, I do believe that wraps up this tractor, and we're pretty well done with it. I could wash the windows off. They got a little water spotty when we cleaned it yesterday. We used the reuse foam ceramic washing coat stuff, and the water just beads right off of this old paint really, really well. So the towel on the floor is unnecessary. It's not too bad. It got cleaned up okay. Like I said, the windows are a little dirty. Maybe I'll wash those. All right, we got the windows washed. So I think we're done with this tractor. Engine oil level looks good. There was a little question as to how much oil it took when we were topping it off yesterday due to the motor not being original and everything. Somebody asked how much it was. I don't know. Brock did it, so I'm not sure. But yeah, everything should be good. He greased it yesterday. after we got done cleaning. I think we're done with it. So I'm going to take it out of here, and we're going to put it in the new barn, the clean barn, because it's a clean tractor, so it can go there. Hopefully, I don't have any oil drips. Too bad. I don't think we do, but it's always possible. It is a 40-plus-year-old tractor, so. She's considered an antique. Can you believe that? Antique tractor is anything over 40 years old. This is a 78 model. It is 2023. That puts it at 45 years old. So, yeah. Antique. Maybe that makes that a super antique? Ultra antique? I don't know. It's 85 years old. Think about that, though. So this tractor's 45 years old. That one's 85 years old. That means that that tractor, I know for a fact, has not run since the 1960s. Meaning it was only 20 to 30 years old, 25 to 30 years old when it quit being used at all. And this tractor, 45 years after it's used, yeah, it's not our primary workhorse for us, but it is on some farms still. There's a lot of farms that still use 4020 or 4440s a lot. And the amount that the technology advanced in a short amount of time, from 1930 something to 1970s, is just unbelievable. These are still useful tractors. If you're new and this is the first Motor View Farms video you've ever watched, check out this awesome tractor we've got. Set it right next to the 4440. There's a comparison for you. Let's see, thumbnail right there. All right, now that we got that tractor out of here, I'm about done for the day, but I'm gonna back up the semi here over our drain. We're gonna rinse it off real quick. It's not super dirty, but Phil's run it in the dirt and mud and roads. And I just want to use a power washer and rinse it off. Mostly what I want to know is if the water still beads off after the coatings and stuff that we put on there. It is. For the most part, the water is still going to bead up on there. Whew, it's beautiful. All right, we're not really using the hose. We're gonna start with some foam, and we're gonna rinse it off, and then we're just gonna foam it. Here we go. Shiny and sparkly. There you go. I should blow the water off of it quick, but yeah. So I used those Griot's foam products. I used both of them. I just didn't show you because you've seen it. But we started with this wash stuff, which is good, but not as impressive. Like, this is the least impressive of the Griot's products. And then this stuff here I put on. And that stuff is fantastic. It's not really for cleaning. It's not cleaning foam. It's a protectant foam. It gives it this water beading character. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. I love that stuff. So anyway, she's cleaner than it was. Okay, time for me to go home. I think tomorrow is gonna involve a trip to Menards for supplies to hang my heater. That's kind of the tentative plan. So I got to figure out what all I need. There's no way we're going to get it in one shot, but we're going to do the best we can and see what we can find. So we need some black pipe. We need some conduit. We need some vent pipe, that kind of stuff. So we'll spend some money. We'll get what we need, and it'll be fine. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, questions, comments. You know the drill. And we will see you again tomorrow, probably, I suppose. I don't know. Do you guys want to watch me go to Menards? Why not? We'll film it. I film everything. You guys, I don't know.